We have some breaking news about Tron and their native token, TRX, along with Justin Sun, along with this current administration. Ethereum, Genius Act is scheduled for tomorrow, and so much more. And we actually might not have another altcoin season. I personally think that we will. Maybe I'm delusional. I have no idea. But the trend that we're starting to see with a lot of crypto projects and really so much with the treasuries and microstrategy, et cetera, we might see stocks, crypto stocks pop up and not the actual crypto coins. And that's altcoin season. I know that we had it with meme coins. I know that we saw people make gains with meme coins, all of that. But this cycle is completely different than anything we've ever seen, primarily because we have not only traditional finance in, but this current administration really is interested in kind of changing the game. Plus, we're seeing this big integration between traditional finance and crypto, hence BlackRock and their spot ETFs, these treasuries we're seeing. So basically what I want to do is, again, I don't know if we're going to have altcoin season or not. I will still be delusional. I will still say that we are. I'm going to say that Q3, Q4, once we get the crypto spot ETFs approved and the Genius Act approved, we're going to have money flow into altcoins and numbers going to go up. That's going to be my delusion, okay? Just because I'm saying that, just because I might be delusional doesn't mean you have to. Or think that way. So make sure you guys do your own due diligence. But I just kind of want to walk through everything that's happening. And I want you to make up your own choice about what we're currently seeing happen. And also, too, we have to give a big shout out to all the channel members. Again, you guys, happy belated Father's Day to all the daddies watching out there. You guys are a very important part of society. Without you, we don't know what we would do. But shout out to my Rumble babes, my TikTok babes, my Twitch babes, and of course, my YouTube babes. YouTube subscribers, you guys get special shout outs. We've got Miss Queen, Mr. Dale, Mr. D, Mr. John Legend, and Mr. John Germain. Now let's go ahead and just cut it up and get into the crypto stories that we are seeing because it's a little bit yeah. So Justin Sun took to X this morning. If you don't know who Justin Sun is, I am going to give you some lore, okay? I'm going to give you guys some lore. So way back in the day, like 2017, Justin Sun was known for, well, allegedly plagiarizing the Ethereum white paper. So basically, Tron acts very similar as Ethereum. It was one of kind of the first Ethereum derivatives. Again, I'm not saying that they did. I'm just saying that was kind of like the lore behind it, is that that's what they did. Now, there was a bunch of drama happening way back in 2017. And I was there. I had a moon bag of Tron. I actually made decent money with Tron back then because it was one, I think, want to say it was one of the McAfee coins. McAfee used to, he would give a day, like every single day, he would give you a brand new coin and would just absolutely send it with like sometimes 100 times. It was crazy. This is when you could trade on, this is when American citizens could use Binance at that time because there wasn't any set guidelines, anything like that. But anyways, other than that, you know, Tron's kind of been around. So Justin Sun was a main character in 2017, and he was always the announcement of announcement guy, and that's where we get that from, is Mr. Justin Sun. But then, you know, he was still around, but he was doing a lot of things silently. But then come DeFi summer of 2020, he did absolutely insane on chain with like Ethereum protocols, Aave, all Compound, all that type of stuff. Good morning, Julie. So that's kind of what he's known for. And since then, he has kind of silently been making moves on the back end. Like, you know, he's still an excellent marketer, and he's still very much like always been a part of crypto, but he's just gotten a lot more silent. And this news is crazy. So Tron strategy. Crypto group Tron to go public after U.S. pauses probe into billionaire founder. If you guys take a look at his feed, he's been hanging out with the Trumps pretty often, which, you know, there's no shade in that. But allegedly, well, actually, it's true. Tron is going public. They want to go public in the U.S. via Reverse, new venture to buy and hold Tron, and Eric Trump expected to take role at this company. What in the actual heck is going on? Well, let's go ahead and go through this article because it's a little bit cuckoo. So last cycle, we had Gary Gensler. He was going after everyone. If you were a really prominent figure with capital, they were going after you. So apparently the U.S. pauses the probe into Justin Sun. So apparently there's a deal involving Justin Sun digital asset venture orchestrated by investment bank linked to Trump's son. And Justin Sun, by him retweeting this over here, to me, this is him saying, yep, this is all true. And he also owns Polonian X or Polo as well, and part of, TRON DAO, et cetera. But basically, he's going to create a public company, and they are going to buy and hold Tron, very similar to what is happening with MicroStrategy Michael Saylor. So I'm going to go ahead and read you some of the details over here. So Tron plans to go public via reverse merger with NASDAQ-listed SRM Entertainment. Again, another NASDAQ-listed company that is planning on adding crypto asset to its treasury or balance sheet, copying the MicroStrategy strategy. A reverse merger is when a public company becomes publicly traded by merging with an existing public company, usually one that has little or no operations. And these are often called a shell company. Shell companies, I don't want to get too much into that today. Y'all could do your due diligence on that, okay? So the deal is managed by Dominary Securities that is linked to Eric Trump. He'll take an executive role in the new firm, Tron Inc. And Tron Inc. will hold $210 million in TRX. The model mirrors Strategy's model. And as this is all going on, the SEC paused its fraud investigation into Justin Sun's companies 4 months ago. So the pause on the investigation happened 4 months ago. This just broke today. So basically what this company is doing is they want to copy exactly MicroStrategy's strategy. They want to be a part of a publicly traded company. They want to use those assets that are publicly traded or create the brand new assets to raise fiat and then to buy a particular asset to put on their blockchain, a crypto asset. We've seen this happen with XRP, with Solana, with Ethereum, and now Tron. And the reason why this story is so big is because it is affiliated with Eric Trump. That is a part of the Trump family. Now, something like this would have never have happened under the other administration. And again, you guys can say whatever you want to say about it. It is what it is. But I'm telling you right now, I am 100% telling you, if we had the old administration in, crypto would be DOA in America. Is what it is. Just because they were so unfriendly to crypto. Now, let's get into the next story because there's more stuff over here. Now, MicroStrategy. Strategy acquired 10,100 Bitcoin for about $1 billion and 104,000 per Bitcoin. And it basically says, their yield as of June 15, 2025, they hold 3% of the Bitcoin supply. And this is a little bit, and again, their average is 71,000 per Bitcoin approximately. And this is why it is so important to dollar cost average into quality assets, because you could end up like Michael Saylor. Now, to kind of bring all of this around, Michael Saylor's company Strategy, they're a NASDAQ listed company. They have stocks, they've got shareholders, they have to appease all of those things. But they continue to create financial instruments out of thin air to raise more capital to buy a finite asset. And then they take that Bitcoin, they can take out collateralized loans, they can do all different types of things with it to continue to raise more money. Okay. So now we're seeing big dogs come in like Justin Sun to rinse and repeat and do the same thing because it makes sense, because they see that this is a valuable opportunity to essentially make money. So if we have assets being held and not actively trading back and forth like we used to in previous cycles, how will that change the price action of crypto? The reason why crypto, again, this is my opinion, the reason why crypto was so volatile before was because we had, it was more decentralized. When I say more decentralized, I mean, again, this isn't not necessarily decentralization, but at the same time, we didn't have companies buying these assets and holding on to it, okay? But now we have companies buying and holding on to it instead of buying and selling and trading on the open market. So will crypto start to trade like stocks? And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. I mean, look at altcoins. We're just going to go to crypto bubbles really quick and we'll get into some more stories. But this is going to be the daily. 7%, 19%, 7%, 6%, 8%, 5, 4, 6. This is like stocks. Crypto used to be more volatile. So what happens if we don't have altcoin season anymore and we just trade like stocks? And you actually have to hold long term, and you have to really figure out quality projects to hold. I mean, that's kind of what we're seeing now. Over here, Trump media registration for Bitcoin treasury deal becomes effective. Trump Media and Technology Group got SEC approval for its Bitcoin treasury registration. They raised $2.3 billion from around 50 investors via debt and equity deals. Will hold Bitcoin alongside $759 million in cash and short-term investments. Trump Media also filed to launch a Bitcoin spot ETF June 5th. Now, another story that came out alongside that is Trump's True Social filed for a dual Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. And then we've got this story over here, which is really funny because I wanted to make a joke on it about and like the Obama phones. But apparently, Trump organization to launch Trump Mobile, U.S.-made gold smartphone starting at $500, announced by Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. And it's so funny they're calling it TMS1, which is hilarious because remember the calculators TI-89 or whatever. I remember those. But again, it's going to be like $47 a month. So it's kind of like an Obama phone, but not. So it's a little joke. But anyways, Trump, there's a lot happening. There's a lot of stuff happening in crypto. So we have these Bitcoin treasuries being created literally everywhere. And is it good? Is it bad? What's happening? We don't know. We don't know if we're going to have altcoin season yet. So I wanted to bring these stories up to you and continue to remind you things are changing. And it's important that we change alongside it. Like one of the biggest things in crypto is if you're able to pivot correctly, you'll do well. So how do we pivot? That's a question. My strategy right now, I made a play at words. Now, my strategy right now is paying attention to what is made in America, what has spot ETFs apply, or what's getting spot ETFs. That's what I'm looking at and holding longer term stuff. Now, we have some more stories that we have to talk about regarding Solana. Solana is also making some silent moves. Okay. I do want to take a look at the markets first. Okay. So yesterday Bitcoin pumped this morning, but we didn't get anything like super sexy or exciting. Also to make sure to smash a like and subscribe, set all alerts because I post content all the time. But this is what Bitcoin looks like. And we're just kind of chilling. This is the weekly. We're chilling in the range. Yesterday we closed above 105,000 and now we're at $107,000. Great, fine, fantastic. We love it. So until we get that breakout of above 11,000 or 111,000 or break down below 102,000, we're just going sideways. We are just going sideways over here. Ethereum made a decent recovery as well, and currently trading at $2,600. Solana is doing really great. We want to flip above $157 support or resistance. Sui's doing okay, not as strong as Solana or Ethereum. XRP did really well, and I've got an XRP story to talk to you about, so be patient. I want to see XRP flip above 240, please, and sustain it for more than like a week. Chainlink is doing well. Also, they power like 70% of crypto DeFi projects. I'm looking like we're getting ready to retest $15. Cardano, I'm going to make a video for you guys about Cardano later today. So make sure to stay tuned for that. It's going to be a big one. Cardano is doing okay. And then HBAR got itself back up above 15 cents. And now we're back in this consolidation range. So with that being said, let's talk about this XRP story. So if you guys don't know who John Deaton is, he was running against Elizabeth Warren. Unfortunately, he lost, but he's been a big advocate for XRP. Now, he's talking about the XRP or the Ripple ruling, what is going to happen. So he just gives his opinion over here. And again, he represented 75 members of the XRP army. Well, not really members, but you guys know what I mean. But he represented 75,000 members when the SEC unjustly went after Ripple. So we talked about the Ripple and SEC recently filing a joint motion to end the lawsuit. They basically asked Judge Torres to dissolve Ripple's injunction and cut the penalty from $125 million to $50 million. That $125 million has already been placed in escrow because they're still figuring out the court case. But Deaton sees a 70% chance of judge approval, but says the filing is legally weak. And again, he's not saying anything bad. He's just giving his expert opinion. He says if denied, the case goes back to the Second Circuit Court. Appeals are on hold for right now. Deaton does criticize the SEC's past aggression tactics and weak arguments in the motion. And Ripple seeks to release the escrow funds, $50 million to the SEC and $75 million back to Ripple. Now, with that being said, the problem with what we're seeing, and I hear what he's saying. I hear what he's saying. He's basically saying that because of the SEC's flip-flopping and because of their bad behavior in the past, it's making the U.S. court system look like a joke. That's what he's saying. And I totally agree with him. We are a mess. We are a joke. So Judge Torres, poor Judge Torres, she's probably just about had it. She's probably just about tired, done, etc. But let's go ahead and get into this story, okay? Because there's some more things. Grayscale. Put these on your radar. Smart contract platforms power decentralized innovation, from automating transactions to enabling complex dApps. Blockchains like Ethereum, ADA, Solana, and Polygon Matic provide developers tools for the future. So Grayscale has a smart contract platform crypto sector. So basically they talk and I would imagine that they're eventually going to put this into some sort of ETF or some sort of traditional financial product. So I'd pay attention to some of these things over here. Next on the roster, this is for Solana. Hong Kong's meme strategy becomes the first Hong Kong listed company to invest in Solana ecosystem, acquiring 2,440 Solana worth approximately 2.9 million of their dollar. Now, why is this important? Well, this is important because we are seeing companies put crypto assets on their balance sheet. Why does it matter? It matters because companies that are publicly listed, they can get in a lot of trouble if they screw up. Like, they have shareholders, they have all of these they're under these larger these wider microscopes than regular companies. So they can't just put any asset on their balance sheet or their treasury or whatever it is without heavy scrutiny. And if they believe in Solana, that says something. Now, Bybit launches Solana on-chain CDeFi app ByReal as DEX volume jumps 16%. Another quality project that believes in Solana. So it's going to be their first on-chain DEX, and it's going to be built on Solana, and it wants to combine centralized grade liquidity with DeFi transparency, and it's a hybrid model called CDeFi. It includes features like fair launchpad, of course, smart ladder price, fair share engine, BB Sol yield vaults. The testnet is going to be June 30th, and mainnet is Q3 2025. So again, we have some exciting news in Q3 2025. But I think that this is the big story over here. I think that this one's going to be the big story. Is multiple stories broke in the news earlier this week that the SEC reached out to issuers requesting them to submit updated documents for their Solana ETFs and to include staking. So as of June 13th, there has been 6 of 7 hopeful Solana ETF issuers that have submitted those S1s. Now, Mr. Eric over here. Coin shares jumping into the Solana spot race with new filings this morning. I think we're up to 8 now. Oh, this one is about Injective. But right now, I'll give you guys a fit check. Give me a minute. Got to get through this. Right now, what we're seeing is that Solana actually has a big chance of becoming the first digital asset to allow ETF to allow staking. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, it's a big deal is because we haven't had any of this happen before. And the SEC just came out and said that staking is not a security. So and I think that Solana might be the first. I think that they might be the first first crypto to get approved for a spot ETF outside of Ethereum and Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin has got its own thing. So I don't know. Things are heating up. And again, if the SEC had reached out to these companies and said, hey, do this and include staking or update X, Y, and Z, they're basically saying, if you do this, we'll approve it. Because then they wouldn't have a reason not to approve it. So I think Solana might be the first one. A lot of things are coming. A lot of things are coming. Also, too, I wanted to put this out there about Binance, our partners over at Binance, because they're doing a lot of really cool stuff. And again, thank you, Binance, so much for partnering with the O Show, everything crypto every single day. But But Binance users can now personalize their experience with new AI-powered UI UX. Why are we talking about this? Well, because AI is coming. It's been a part of crypto for a long time, but now we're seeing it really, really push forward. So Binance launched their UI Refine, which is an AI-powered, fully customizable app interface, first of its kind among top exchanges, and 91% of beta users rated it positively. The rollout coincides with Binance 8th University, and users get a personalized homepage with a drag and drop smart widgets that allow for AI that include AI trending, fear and greed index, copy trading, ETF flows. So basically, these widgets kind of provide you let you pick what tools you need to fit your trading or investing strategy. And plus two, whatever skill level you have, interest, regional trends for a more localized experience. And there's also a better looking design over here, which I think is super cool. And again, we are going to see a lot of other exchanges because Binance kind of sets the lead. We're going to see a lot of other exchanges. I would imagine follow this. And this makes sense too, because if you're somebody who's actively trading or even someone who's actively investing, there's certain things that you use. So I think it's super cool. And this is all powered by AI. Let's go ahead and see the little thingamabobbers over here. Let's go ahead and see. Yeah. And I like that they've got Midnight Black too. All right. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to be oh, you guys want to see a fit check, huh? Let's do fit check. So today we're just doing we're doing a Free People top, one of these, and then just some like beach pants because why not? We're just chilling today. Anyways, thank you, gamer. I appreciate it. And shout out to Lawrence, channel member. But anyways, you guys, I got to get going. Lo's home. I actually made a big boo-boo. I thought she had summer school this week, but she doesn't. But anyways, make sure you guys smash a like. But I've got some news coming out with Cardano a little bit later that I'll drop for you around 2 p.m. If we get any other breaking news, I'll let you know. But also remember, tomorrow, the Genius Act is going to be at its final stage of voting. So we'll see what happens with that. Elizabeth Warren is against it because she basically wants, and other people are concerned that it's going to allow for the Trump family to get an edge. Whatever. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, set alerts. Bye-bye.